by all means, when you're trying to change and you heal, it's a process. It is not something that's going to happen overnight. And how God teaches us is through our experiences, our connections, our resources, and just, how we show up day to day. That's how we learn. But I remember hearing a conversation, and somebody was just judging the other person for whatever it is that they was getting, right? And it's like, how can you point the finger at them when you do the same thing? It just don't make sense. And that makes people turn their nose up at you. Like, that will push people away from you. Away from you. When your spirit is just so judgmental. And I pray to God about this all the time, because I know it's not a good look. It is not a good character trait. And you cannot judge people for the same sin that you are doing. Even if it's not the sin that, even if you guys aren't doing the same sin, we all sin. We're human, living a human experience. We all growing and learning. So I can't judge you for something that you're doing that I might not be able that I might not do, but it's something that I'm doing that I shouldn't be doing. So let's just talk about it. So for me, I ask God, as I go, as this year carry out 2024, I want to be less judgmental. In order for me to actually be less judgmental, I have to think about it intentionally, which means I got to think about the conversations I'm having. I got to think about what I'm saying, because we all learning from our reality. Everybody experiences are different. You know, everybody experience is different. I'm no better than you. I'm human just like you. Like, even if it's something that you would not do, that you see the person next to you doing, just simply go in prayer. Simply go in prayer. If you see somebody you love living a unhealthy lifestyle, just immediately go in prayer for them, because we're no better than anybody else. Literally, God made us all out of love. Okay, we all God's children in his likeness, in his image. And we all shown up in our reality from our circumstances, how we grew up, the things that we were taught. A lot of us are programmed to do a lot of these things that we are doing. So we have to empathize and show grace to other people, and just immediately go in prayer, even if it's something that you don't agree with, because I'm pretty sure it's something within yourself that you shouldn't be doing. We all got flaws. We all got flaws. Hell, we trying to heal. We trying to break these cycles. We trying to do things differently. So I know you're still doing it wrong, because it's a process. It's a journey to change. You don't just change overnight because you say you don't want to do something. It don't work like that. No, God is going to take you through it, where you gotta literally work inward. You gotta heal from certain things. You gotta put in the work to change. So if you know how hard it is to change smoking habits, sex addictions, or what else I want to say, just whatever, living in a world, like, how hard that is to change, whatever it is that you trying to change in your life, it's something that you want to change in. If you know how easy it is to fall back short, and you know how easy temptation is, stop judging the next person. We have no room whatsoever to judge a soul. We are all God's children. And I got to remember that. I remember somebody told me I was a hypocrite. And I'm like, damn. Like, when I started healing, I do got the spirit of hypocrisy. Absolutely, I do. And when I look back at my family, I see the family I come from. I see exactly where I get it from. I be having to check myself, even when it comes to my son. I'm in the house telling him not to do something, to have self-control. But when I get triggered, I lose control sometimes too, because again, this is a growing journey. This is a process for me. I move with emotions. I was known to move from off of aggression and the hostility, and was very emotional, because that's how I grew up. So how do you think my son is? So because I know how hard it is to change, because I'm in this journey, right, with God, I'm healing, I'm trying to evolve and become better, I got to extend grace to him and the person that's standing next to me too. Even if it's different. You know how hard it is to change, sis. It ain't easy. It ain't easy just showing up being a completely different person. You can get all this content all day long, and they tell you just show up the next day and become a different person. It don't work like that, especially when your environment showing you different, especially when you got years of programming that you got to unlearn. You got years of habits that you got to change. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy. I don't care what nobody say. Change ain't easy. It's not. It's not. I done tried it all. I done tried to become the person I wanted to be the next day. It don't work. I got to work. I had to work. God said I had to work for that. I got to work for that. And God knows our heart anyways. God knows your heart. You can say one thing, but if your heart don't align with what you say, that ain't good. You sinning. You sinning. You got to ask God to work on your heart posture. Ask God to work on the inside of you, because you know you ain't right spiritually. Mentally, you know you messed up. And it's okay. We human. A few months ago, I just had to ask God to heal my heart because my heart was hardened around my mom and my son. I was angry with them. God, I don't want to feel like this by people I love. Because you can have a hardened heart and still love people. But also a hardened heart is not good, so you got to go to God every time, and he knows anyways. You could just sit back and like watch people, like literally just watch people. Not to judge nobody, but just to see how they show up for themselves. And you can really see what type of person a person is, like just by off their character, how they treat people. You can really tell, even how they treat themselves. That's why we have to reflect. We got to reflect to see exactly how we are showing up. Okay? It's things that I see my son doing to himself, and I'm like, son, you know, he said he got a girlfriend, but I'm like, son, how you gonna give this girl some love? Give this girl whatever you trying to give her, and you ain't giving it to yourself, boo. It starts with you first. Whatever you give here, whatever flows in here is gonna come out, and it's gonna come out in relationships, friendships, in your family, at work. It's gonna come out. So we have to check ourselves. We try to get in these relationships and fill these voids after we just got out of a relationship. Sis, you gotta go heal from that. That man just took you through it. That girl just took you through it. And you finna go get in something new? Don't you know you finna bring all that from that last relationship into something new? It ain't nothing but a cycle full of broken people walking around being hurt, being broke. We broken as a collective. If you look back, all you gotta do is look at the family you came from. Look at your mother, look at your father, your aunties, your uncles, all that, and just see where you came from. That's going to tell you a lot. That's going to tell you a lot. Healing is key. Healing is important. Anybody that was attached to me before I started my healing journey, I know they broken if they ain't worked. If they ain't healed or anything, I know they broken. I know they broken. And if I was attached to anybody that I was attached to, I know I was broken. Healing was important. I still got to heal from certain things. Because this is years worth of trauma. All you got to look at is your people, the people that you are surrounded by. I'm talking about family, friends, relationships, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever, right? The people that you associate yourself with will tell you a lot about you. I kid you not. All I got to do is come around you and see your family, see your friends, see the relationship you are in. And that's going to tell me exactly where you are mentally and spiritually. Seriously. And I'm only speaking from this because I know I lived this. I had to go through this. Literally. I had to go through this. Nothing but a whole bunch of hurt people being friends with each other, being in relationships with each other. Nobody don't want to heal. They just want to fill those voids. They want to be loved. And I'm speaking from experience. My whole 20s, in and out of situationships, in and out of relationships. Yeah, I was getting new people. They was looking different, but on the inside, they was the same. Spiritually, they was the same. Because you attract people on that same level. If you are unhealed and broken, you are going to attract another broken person. You could spend 2-3 years in a relationship, but if you don't take the time out a year or two and get yourself together, I bet you when you get into that new relationship, it's gonna be the same thing. You're gonna repeat the same habits. You're gonna repeat the same situation. It's just gonna be with a new person. When God takes us through these experiences with people, it's important for us to learn. We have to learn what was their purpose, what was their reason in my life, right? God, why was they here? What do I need to get from this so I don't keep repeating the same cycle? I don't keep making the same mistake. What is it?